Chapter 22, Personal Property. The disposal of the personal property was an issue that we carefully handled. We were responsible for everything in the repossessed vehicle, a boat, car, truck, camper, whatever. We had to inventory everything. We boxed it up and we put it in our storage building. We would send a certified letter to the debtor giving them 90 days to reclaim their property. We were only legally required to keep it for 30 days before disposing of it. We kept it 90 days as a courtesy to them. We couldn't legally charge them for the property, but we charged them an inventory fee and for the cardboard boxes. If they didn't pick up the property after 90 days, we were free to dispose of it in the proper manner. The proper method and suggested way was to donate everything to your favorite local charity. The closest charity to my lot in Huntsville was the Greater Huntsville Animal Shelter on Johnson Road in South Huntsville. They had a thrift store, and I donated quite a bit of unclaimed items to them throughout the years. I had picked up a Black Ranger pickup truck late one night in Etowah County. I grabbed the truck and I was halfway down the long driveway when the debtor came running out of the house and chased me down the driveway, but I was gone. I did the condition report and the personal property inventory the next morning. Along with other items, there was a brand new, still in the box, inflatable love doll stashed under the seat. No wonder the guy was chasing after me. After 90 days, the debtor never claimed his property. I don't know what we did with the other property in the truck, but I do know that the inflatable love doll ended up inflated, wearing unclaimed overalls and sitting at my boss's desk down in Pelham, Alabama. She was a big hit. I gave a TV set out of a camper to a family who had recently lost everything in a house fire. I've given a lot of stuff away throughout the years, and I've even given debtors their property back without collecting any money. Now, follow me on this. If a debtor shows up to get their property and they look like they're really poor or really having a tough time in life, I would just give them their property free of charge. It wasn't much money, maybe $5 a box, and I would make them promise not to contact our office and tell them that I gave them their stuff for free. I'd make them sign the release saying that they got their property, but I'd keep the paper and not fax it in. That covered me in case they decided they changed their mind or had a change of heart and contacted our office saying that they didn't get the property. I got the paperwork that says they did pick it up where they signed it. But if I didn't fax in the paperwork and send the money to the office just assumed that the debtor never showed up to get their stuff, and that was that. We were careful in the days before Christmas not to repo vehicles that had Christmas presents in them. We could make contact if we saw presents in the car, or do like I always tried to do, pull the vehicle off of private property and then go knock on the door and let them get their stuff. I did end up with a whole lot of Christmas presents one year. I'd repoed a car from Grant, Alabama, and when I got back to my lot and opened the trunk, it was full of Christmas presents. The debtor called our office in Pelham the next day and set up an appointment to come over and get all of her stuff that next Tuesday. When she showed up a few days before Christmas, I could tell she was having a tough time. I let her have all her presents and stuff if she promised not to contact the office, and I mean, it ain't like I'm not keeping it for myself. Okay, I was not dishonest. I made her sign a release so we'd have an official copy acknowledging that she took possession of the property, again, in case she changed her mind. She promised not to tell and was happy to get her property back, and it never hurts to be nice when you can. I'd picked up an older pickup truck once and did the condition report on it and personal property list, sent it in. A few days later, the debtor set up an appointment to come to Huntsville and pick up his property. I met him at the lot and gave him his property. There's only one box with the stuff, few things in it from the truck. He said he needed to get something out of the truck. Well, you're not supposed to let him go to the vehicle, and besides, I told him I'd cleaned it out. Well, he just laughed and said, "Trust me." I said, "Okay, fine." So we went over to the truck, and he reached under the dashboard and pulled out a wad of money. I looked at him funny, and he laughed, and He said he hid that extra money in the car so his wife wouldn't find it. I found a dime bag of marijuana in the vehicle once. Just wrote it on the list as private property, stored it, and sent it in. The office said when the guy called, he wanted to pick up his property, but he's beating around the bush. He's kind of like, kind of worried about if the police were going there when he showed up to claim his stuff. They told him not to worry. The police were not going to be there to arrest him. There are many times when a dishonest agent could steal from a company. All they'd have to do would be to meet the debtor at the appointed time when they pick up the property, have them sign the release that they got their property, pocket the money, and simply tell the home office that they never showed up to get their stuff. They'd have their property, you'd have extra money, and the office don't know anything about it. But I would know about it, and my peace of mind and living with myself is worth more than a few stolen dollars. Say amen right there. I had a lot of respect for the folks I worked for, and I had too much respect for myself to steal from them. And I never stole from the company. And I tried to keep a good relationship with them and the debtors, and especially the clients. Where'd my button go? There it is.